Will Alvin Kamara be a good value grab in 2020? Will he be worth the risk? Can he rebound to top 5 to 10 running back form? Let's find out. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Okay, here's the deal. Alvin Kamara has the talent to be a top 5 running back. He does. If you didn't get that from watching him in 2018, I can't help you. The dude has the talent to be a pimp in fantasy football. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Alvin Kamara. Oopsie on Smitty. Take a lap, Smitty.
Take a lap, take a lap, take a lap, take.
My bad. I ranked him really high. In some cases, calling him the best running back in fantasy football. Now, is the talent there for him to be that good again? Abso-freaking-lutely. No question about it. Is there risk for him getting hurt? Of course, that is on the table now. The guy's an injury risk. He has injury concern. Does he have situational concern? Currently, no. His situation going into 2020 should be fantastic. Lat Murray competition, it's okay. He's a PPR beast. He does not need more than 200 carries a season. He could survive with top 5 running back numbers at 190 carries. He doesn't need 200. He's a 90 to 100 reception running back. Give a running back that's getting 100 receptions and potentially 10 to 15 TDs, 190 carries, and you have yourself a monster. Does he have the ability to bust on you again? The answer to that is an affirmative. That means you have to walk into 2020 with a little bit of caution, but guess what? Caution will be built into his value. There are so many people that will doubt him heading into 2020. The risk versus reward should be baked into his value. Now, if he tears it up from here on out into the fantasy playoffs and becomes Mr. Consistent running back, he will most certainly regain top 5 to 10 overall value, and this video will be completely irrelevant other than you got to experience the pimp cane. But if he has spotty production, he's good one game, mediocre at best in another game, then you have yourself a player that will have tremendous upside given the value, because there will be a lot of baked in doubt and people avoiding him heading into early 2020 fantasy football mock drafts. Now, could he be a player where we see his value climb and you get a screaming deal in Dynasty and early drafts, but when push comes to shove in August and September, people return to, oh, I love Alvin Kamara, and then all that doubt and talk and ability to steal him away from people, all that goes down the drain once your draft day hits. Now, I do a lot of Dynasty content, so this is Dynasty information too. Go get Alvin Kamara via trade in Dynasty. The guy is probably way cheaper than he should be. Way cheaper, because people are freaking out about ever seeing even close to first round value in return for a trade. So you might be able to get him at very low end first round type value in Dynasty. I'm not saying it'll happen in every league. The guy that owns Kamara could love the freaking Saints. I don't know. But I do know that now is the time to try. Ability to return to top 5 to 10 running back numbers, abso-freaking-lutely. Ability to bust on you again. The answer is yes. It all boils down to where you have to draft him. If you have to draft him in the top 5 to 6 to 7 overall, he could earn that. And I'm not saying don't do that. Don't take him in a lot of leagues that high, but don't take him any higher than you have to. And my hope is that he's going to fall all the way to the tail end of the first round heading into early 2020 mock drafts. What will be great about that is that while you still won't want to invest in him in every league you have, the ability to pair him with a bookend player and have Kamara be essentially your second drafted player, and you cuff him to a wide receiver that has top 1 to 5 wide receiver upside, you have yourself an amazing pair of players. You got in the 11 to 14 range in your fantasy football draft. That's a great way to build in 2020, having a player that potentially has top 5 overall value and top 5 running back value that you got as your second player because of all the doubt that bakes that risk right in for you. I'm not saying Alvin Kamara will return to form. I'm certainly not saying he won't. There is risk in his 2020 value, I won't lie. And again, of course, the finish he has here in the playoffs and in the fantasy football playoffs will determine whether he's an extreme value grab in 2020 or just, you might get him a little bit cheaper than you should because people will be doubting him. Regardless, because he failed people will be doubting him. He kicks off the undervalued fantasy football profile players heading into 2020. Alvin Kamara, you are number 1 on the list. Congratulations. You are the first player talked about for 2020 as I kick off 2020 fantasy football content. Computer, studio off. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.